Leeds United have reportedly agreed personal terms with a Premier League left-back. This is the first massive bit of transfer news of this little mini window that's happening early on. So just to sort of prove its sort of authenticity, I've done a lot of due diligence on this one. So I learned about it being a potential move a couple of weeks ago, where there were sort of whispers around it and it seemed increasingly likely. Then I figured, let's do a little bit of jet washing. There was a private flight in the same 24-hour period, one from where the club is located and one from where his agency has offices, both into Leeds Bradford Airport, which seems a very, very weird coincidence, especially when it's a flight company that tends to work with football clubs. And I've had confirmation from two separate sources this morning. One last thing before I dive into the story properly. If you've not got tickets for the charity match and you're based in and around Leeds, the reason that I'm working so hard on YouTube stuff right now is to help to make that charity match happen. So it's £7 or £3 for children. Pick up a ticket using the link below. Thank you very much. Also, there's a raffle that's happening on the 31st of May for one of the shirts. Looks like one of these. That'd be nice. Cheers. Anyway, into the story. That's why you're here. It's looking like Kostas Tsimikas is the player that Leeds United have agreed full personal contract terms with. Set to sign for Leeds United from Liverpool, and genuinely, this is not a bad move for me. The reason that this is going to be happening is that Liverpool are signing in Milos Kerkez to play at left back. That one isn't 100% confirmed yet, but Andy Robertson hasn't quite been at it recently. Tsimikas has never been overly fancied at Liverpool, which means that signing Kerkez means they've got some more youth, some more attacking vim and vigour going down the left-hand side, but that pushes Tsimikas to be the third choice. And if you're the third choice, then you're not getting the Europa League, you're not getting the FA Cup, you're not getting the Carabao Cup, you're not playing football. And Tsimikas is going to want to be doing that at his age, which is currently, let's have a quick check, 28. He needs some football. Thankfully, he is a very, very solid player. He's got that attacking creativity that we sort of need. We see it a lot with Junior Firpo, where he'll receive the ball and just have a good idea to do something, whether it's cut inside and play as a 10 for a little bit. Those big overlaps that lead to assist after assist after assist. Tsimikas has the same sort of eye and ability to see the match in that way, which is very useful for us. However, that means that he will want to start more games of football. That is why he's moving away from Liverpool. That's why he's going to be moving towards us. And that links with some news that I've heard around Junior Firpo. Now, this bit is less confirmed, significantly less 100%, because I will be honest with you, we could probably do with Firpo plus another left back anyway. But what I've been hearing around the links for Junior Firpo is that Real Betis are very, very interested, have a contract on the table. So do we. And the Betis fans basically see him as sort of like a folk hero, someone that has sort of like grown up around that side and done really well at that side. And at points, it's been very clear that Firpo has wanted to return to Spain, and Betis have significantly more PSR headroom now. Slight changes in the regulations mean that they have significantly more flexibility in terms of the wages that they're able to offer, the fees they're able to pay. Obviously, they wouldn't be paying us a fee, but it means that with other moves that they want to make, for example, Anthony, they're not going to have to make significant decisions anymore. They can effectively just say, well, we can do Firpo either way now because we've got the money for Anthony and Firpo, or anyone else that they might want to sign permanently. That opens the door for Kostas Tsimikas because we are going to need a starting left back, potentially a substitute left back as well, but who knows. Interestingly, you can probably expect to see Tsimikas take a pay cut. At Liverpool, he's currently on £75,000 a week, which is a hell of a lot of money. But I feel like he'll be more than happy to move just to get the football in. And if we have a look at Premier League wages at the moment, let's pick an example of a club of sort of the level that Leeds United are expecting to land at. We will go with someone along the lines of a Fulham. Why not? I know Fulham are up there in the table right now, but their average weekly salary currently sits at around £45,000 a week. It's between 45 and 50, which means that Tsimikas being on 75 grand a week would make him one of the highest earned, and you don't really do that for a left back. I think we can see him land at around 60, 55. That'll all come out in the wash in the coming days when this becomes a little bit more widely reported. In addition to that, the transfer fee is also currently unknown, but last week I did a video on the report that I heard that a combined him and Callagher were going to come to around 55 million. That feels very, very big to me, and that would have landed Tsimikas' valuation at about £20 million, which feels like a lot. But I feel like realistically it could be a bit lower than that, given the fact that he's got a limited remaining period on his contract. He's down to 2 years. If it came down to next year, then there is a pretty significant chance that, well, he'd be worth significantly less. It would more than half his value, I think. And Liverpool are going to want to get his wages off the books because that will help with paying for the wages of Milos Kerkez. So everything is sort of adding up and pointing in a direction that says we will have to pay a little bit less than expected in terms of transfer fee. We'll pay him less than he is currently being paid at Liverpool. It's starting to add up a little bit. In terms of what the announcement date is expected to be, I think that could be a little while away. The announcement date, in my personal opinion, is going to be around when the Junior Firpo decision is announced, because I don't know where Junior Firpo is going to end up. I feel like it could be Real Betis. I would like it to be Leeds United, but Betis is seeming rather likely at the moment. But I think it's unlikely that Leeds announce the Tsimikas move before we know what happens with Junior Firpo, because it'd feel disrespectful to say, we've got a left-back in. By the way, see you later, Junior, especially when Junior has had a very, very good 2 years for us. With that said, it could always come relatively early, depending on what goes on the Liverpool side. It's a little bit of a complicated one. I don't think it'll be as long as waiting until the 1st of June, which is when the first transfer window opens, but we will eventually find out, basically. Genuinely, in my opinion, this is going to be a very, very solid signing for Leeds United. He's sort of exactly what we need. He's someone that can do that box-to-box stuff. His defensive work is fairly decent. Admittedly, he's not challenged that often because he plays for a Liverpool side at the minute. But in addition to that, even if his defensive work isn't excellent, we've seen that the midfield covers very, very effectively in Bogle and Firpo last season. I feel like this is a very good deal. I think it's a player that we need. I think it's a profile that will work. I don't mind this in the slightest. I hope this gets done, and I hope it gets announced relatively shortly. That would make me very, very happy. But at the end of the day, as always, that is just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, make sure you are getting a ticket for the charity match, because the sooner we know how many tickets we've sold, the sooner we can have everything completely set and agreed with the venue and with all of our vendors. It'll make things significantly easier. That'd be really nice. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not yet. Thank you so much for getting me over 6,000, by the way. That was massively appreciated. Or even become a channel member. Channel members get videos like this one early. In this case, I'm releasing the video to channel members as soon as I'm finished recording it. So it's about 2 p.m. It'll be going up generally in a couple of hours' time, so they will have access to the news a little bit early. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later. Ta-ra.